It's here very important because when we know the timelines, we can apply the timelines to present day. This is important because that which has been will be again. Now, it doesn't mean the events, the characters are the exact same, but the timing windows are critical. Okay, so 7 days, critical. 40 days, critical. 150 days, critical. So let's apply this to 2026 and see what happens, because I'm going to show you what's happening in our time right now and how January is a critical marker for a next few months forward.
Okay.
Okay. And so when we look at the cycle here, Noah enters the ark, Genesis 7:1, and then he's on the ark for 7 days. Then Genesis 7:11 through 16, the rain starts coming down. The ground breaks open from the deep, starts shooting up. God slams a door on Noah's ark, on the ark, and all heck breaks loose. Okay. That goes on for 40 days of rain. Then for another 110 more days, the rain stops at 40, but for another 110 days, the water keeps rising from the deep, and the ark keeps going higher and higher and higher. So at the end, this is important, at the end of 150 days, all evil, the Nephilim, all evil is dead and removed. All that remains is what's on the ark. Okay, very important. And that's Genesis 7:24.
Yes.
Right? Then for 220 more days, now the water begins to recede and the ark's starting to come down, and it hits land. And then finally, at the end of 370 days total, so just over a year, Noah finally gets off the ark and he steps into a new world. Okay. So because he steps into a new world, the old world's finished. And he's in a new world. This is going to apply to 2026.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And so
I want to interject this, but when I woke up a bunch of times last night, early this morning I woke up, and this is what I felt the Lord was saying. I woke up with the word reset. And so I said, I knew to start praying. But this is what the Lord helped me understand. He said, just like what you're saying, it was over 300 days. He said, I told y'all reset, but it's a progression of resetting over a period of time. And that's why you haven't seen some of the things happen like you thought was going to happen. So he said, stay with reset, but stay with resetting. That's why your timing and your dates and the days are so important to us, because we don't lose hope. If it didn't happen Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock, we still know there's going to be another Sunday, or there's going to be a Wednesday, but it is going to happen because he's in the process, just like that. That was a process before Noah could step into the, quote, new.
You and I last saw each other. I'm going to go back to the slide in a second, but you and I last saw each other right here. Remember this? The dismantling tour? Okay. July 3rd, 2025. Okay. This still does mark, will forever mark the dismantling of Babylon start date.
Starting
date. Okay. And this also marks what's in scripture, which is specifically Isaiah 61, the year of the Lord's favor. Okay. So very simple math. If the day started on July 3rd, July 4th, 2025, when does the year end? July 4th, 2026. Period. Okay. So everything is going to manifest. We will have seen an act of God, and we're going to be standing on the 4th of July at the greatest 4th of July ever in human history. I don't care what anybody says, because God is going to intervene to make sure this happens. Now, in Isaiah 61, there's a year of the Lord's favor, but there's specifically a day of vengeance.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is critical. God's not going to reveal this. This is like if you were a poker player, right? And you had $1 billion on the table. Okay. The last thing you're going to do is reveal, your final, or if you're a chess player and you're a world renowned chess player, you're not going to reveal your final kill shot so you lose the game, right? Because God's undefeated. So my point is, God is setting everything up, the stage, everything's coming together so beautifully, but there is one day, a 24-hour window, which is called the kill shot. It's the checkmate that God moves, and then again, he's the winner forever. He's always the forever winner, and the Satan's the forever loser. And because this is such an important date, God's not going to reveal this exact date, but we can calculate. There's been some important calculations we've had, and there's some additional ones we've got, so we can look at a time, potential time points. Does that make sense? Potentially when this can go down, and all of this is still screaming January. Okay? This month, January. So going back to this slide that we showed earlier, why I'm showing this is because this is very important when it comes to what we've already seen this manifest in our lifetime. Okay, let's go through the window here. Okay, what we saw in the year 2020 in the month of April, and the date was April would be 4 with the 4th month, 21st day, 421, 421. And those who know my time patterns that God revealed to me, they're not mine, but they're God's time patterns. It's 421 is the, everybody, if you want to write down anything in this podcast, write the number 421 down and write the number 124. Okay. Because that is the biblical math, the biblical numerics that tie in with everything. And you'll see, and specifically the big picture is always, I've always said, it's 4,000 years from creation of Jesus, 2,000 years from Jesus, his birth, to his return, and then 1,000-year millennial reign. So there's your 421. A day is about 1,000 years, or a year is about 1,000 days. So point is, there's your pattern on that, but I'm going to show you. And then that, if you add it up, it adds up to a 7. You see, so everything about biblical timing, it always adds up to a 7 because it's not political, it's biblical. Okay. So let me show you here how this is important. So April 21, 2020, oil collapsed to negative $38 a barrel. Now, God revealed it. I was so clear. I heard, start counting Noah's cycle. I'm like, okay, so 40 days and 40 nights. So there it is, your 40 days and 40 nights. And George Floyd riots began.
Wow.
George Floyd is dead. Next day, Paris riots, Brazil, worldwide riots began at the 40-day mark.
Yes.
Okay. Peace was taken from the earth. Then another 110 days go by, equaling 150 days. And I said, watch 150 days. Something big's going to happen. And what happened? Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead. Amy then comes in 2 weeks later. And next thing you know, 2 years later, Roe v. Wade's overturned. Now, so this Noah cycle was critical. So now let's apply this cycle to 2026. Lord revealed to me very clearly. Again, repeat the cycle 5 years later. Okay. So what happened on January 7th? Oh, remember this ties in with riots. Okay. So what happened on this is incredible. On January 7th was the fatal shooting of Renee Nicole Good by the ICE agent in Minneapolis. Exactly on January 7th. You add 7 days, you get to the 14th. What happened? The riots began. See, there's your repeating cycle.
Wow.
The riots began exactly as they were supposed to. The Minneapolis riots began that night on the 14th of January. You can't make this up. This is crazy. Also, there's a second ICE shooting where a Venezuelan national gets shot. Julio Caesar or something gets by his name. And that same day, Clinton also defies his subpoena about testifying before Congress. But the key here was the Minneapolis riots began. And what do we got going on right now? Riots. Right on schedule per the Noah cycle. Okay, so what does the Noah cycle say? You got to count 40 days. Let's count 40 days. February 23rd, 24th. Okay, so that's going to mark a time point. What happens? We're going to watch together, but that's a marker. The 23rd, 24th of February. Just a few days after that is Purim. Okay, but this is the cool part. What the Lord revealed to me, January 14th. Okay, well, that's interesting. But wouldn't it make sense that if January 14th, like the start of something, would be a start of a new year, man's new year? It is. Because in the Julian calendar, And we've talked about this before, but if you understand the calendar cycles, okay, what happened was it was Pope Gregory, just really briefly, people have heard this before, but basically it was in the year, was it 1582? He removed 10 days, went to bed on the 5th, woke up on the 14th of October, and he removed 10 days. Presently, that calendar is 13 days behind. So this is a fake, fraudulent calendar that's only 400 or 500 years old, and they're using it to deceive people about true timing. But really, the 14th of January is actually January 1.
I'm going to talk to you about my pillow. I want to talk to you about Mike. But before I do, I want to tell you something. This is so much fun. Last Christmas, I bought everybody in my family these slippers for Christmas, but I didn't let everybody open it till everybody got their box. You should have seen them. And they all opened them at the same time. And John Michael really tickled me. He just started jumping up and down. Oh, I'm so excited. And so we all had matching slippers for Christmas. So this is a good thing that you need to get for your family. And it's really cool because, see, you guys can go outside. Even if you're where it snows and stuff, you can go outside because they're solid on the bottom. And in Texas, you know, we need to keep our shoes on out here sometimes because we got those things called scorpions and stuff. And so we don't want to run around barefooted, that's for sure. So this is a great, great present. So, and if you already have a couple of pairs, then buy some for somebody else or maybe for an orphanage or something. The kids in an orphanage would love these. And so then the next thing I want to tell you about Mike. Mike has helped us so much in our nation. I'm all for him. So the next thing we're going to do is talk about these dish towels. Ladies, how many dish towels would you like in your kitchen? You can't have too many, right? Well, in this bundle right here, there's a bunch of them. And so not only is there a bunch of them here, but look at this. These guys, look at all these. There are gobs of them in there, but this is what I like about them. You know, sometimes you get those little dinky, we don't want those. Watch this. Look how big this is. This is huge, and it's made of such good quality that it actually absorbs. Don't you just hate it when you get some of those dishcloths and you put it down on water and it doesn't work? These work. So you want to make sure you get these. Now, if you don't need these, you know, I know a perfect place to go. What you could do is you could buy some of these, and some of these places, there's so many ministries that help these women with their children. It would absolutely be amazing. So this would be a blessing, blessing, blessing. But anyway, so next, guess what? Here's the pillow. The pillow. This is amazing because we got some scriptures that go with this. This is too funny. But you know what I like about this pillow? And I told Mike this myself. When I first found out about Mike and he was helping us to be able to turn everything around in our nation, I said, Mike, guess what? I saw in the Word where it talks about David going out and getting Goliath with just a stone. I said, I never heard of anybody winning a pillow fight over a giant, but I believe that you're going to take Goliath down in a pillow fight. Anyway, you're just going to have to just know my logic in some things. I got to tie them to a scripture. But anyhow, why don't you order some of these and to some different, maybe missions in other countries, or help other people if you don't just have need of it for yourself or your family. So make sure you do code GINGER, GINGER, and this is going to be a blessing to Mike. It is going to help him because he's got some more winning to do. And you know we got some more winning to do in our nation. But anyway, I just thought I'd tell you a few of his products. And I'm really pushing this. And we've got sheets, towels, all kinds of things you can imagine. This guy really knows how to do it. So God bless you, and make sure code GINGER when you order him.